Commencing at 3 p.m. this afternoon, South Australia Police are going to be conducting a statewide, highly visible traffic policing operation that will conclude at midnight on Monday. That operation is going to be coordinated and is going to be targeting driving behaviour that contributes most significantly to fatal collisions and serious injury crashes. That will incorporate things like drink and drug driving, speeding, inattention, dangerous road users and the wearing of seatbelts. I'd ask all road users to take responsibility for their behaviour within the road network over the long weekend. Historically, the June long weekend has not been good for South Australia. We haven't had a fatality-free long weekend since 2004, which is totally unacceptable, so people do have to take responsibility. If you're going to be leaving the metropolitan area, please make sure that you take appropriate rests, make sure that you drive to the conditions, make sure that you watch your speed and be patient. Unfortunately, 31 of the 36 road fatalities we've had this year have occurred in rural areas, so please take care. If you're staying within the metropolitan area and you're going to be using the road network, please make sure that you are aware of pedestrians, because again, historically, the June long weekend has not been good for outcomes with pedestrians on our road network.
Why do you think it is a particularly bad weekend? Is it because it's the last weekend before, it's a long break between the June long weekend and the next one in October? Is it more people go away? Can you put it down to anything why this particular weekend is a bad one?
It's very difficult to answer that. I think that what contributes to it, I think, is the fact that you're coming into the cooler months of the year. And you're probably correct that people are going away and there is a significant break now before the next opportunity to take a long weekend. But as I said, historically it hasn't been good for South Australia and we haven't had a fatality-free June long weekend since 2004.
You do blitzes all the time leading up to a long weekend. What will you be doing differently this time to try and rein that in?
We'll be deploying people across the state, both within the metropolitan area and within the country areas, and we'll be using a range of policing options including static and random breath testing, speed detection, overt and covert operations as well.
How different is that from any other blitz that you've done?
Well, it's similar, but it is a little bit different in the sense that we have very, very much planned where our operational police will be 24 hours a day over these 3 days to make sure that we have the maximum coverage and get the maximum outcome to keep people safe this long weekend.
Why are rural roads so deadly compared to others?
Historically, what happens with rural roads, I guess there's a large element of fatigue that plays a major part in serious crashes and fatalities. People quite often aren't used to driving on rural roads and they will leave the metropolitan area not many times a year, and obviously driving at speed is different, the conditions are different, and some people just don't cope well with that difference in the road conditions.
Are those crashes happening with fatigue when people are leaving Adelaide and driving out of town, or is it on the longer journey back home?
Certainly this year, evidence tells me that they're happening out of Adelaide, so they're not shortly leaving Adelaide. They've been on the road for quite a period of time. And as I said to you, this year, a major contributor to these fatalities and serious crashes is fatigue.
So you're saying that people who might work the entire day, come home, pack up and then leave late at night, so having worked the whole day, being up early, work the whole day and then travelling, that's one of the contributing factors?
I believe that it is, yes, and I believe that people aren't taking seriously enough planning their travel. They're not taking appropriate breaks, and they should be.
And are they crashing at the end of those journeys more? Is it where they've been driving for quite a few hours, and it's just before they reach that destination they're crashing?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're crashing at the end of the journeys, but they're certainly crashing when they've been on the road for a lengthy period of time.
Do you think that the drivers are rushing to get out of the city to avoid that congestion that we've seen over and over again?
I think historically on any long weekend that's an accurate statement, yes.
You mentioned earlier that the blitz is starting at 3 p.m. today. Is it today or tomorrow?
It's starting 3 p.m. today and it finishes midnight Monday.
Starting a day earlier? Do you think people are starting to head out of Adelaide today?
We just want to make sure that we've got all contingencies covered, and we just want that coverage, and we want, as I said, we want to maximise everybody getting home safely, so we want to start that this afternoon when people are heading out of the city.
Have blitzes started on a Thursday before, or is this the first time start the blitz the day before the long
Yep.
blitz starts?
The blitz starts on Friday at 3 p.m. Sorry, my mistake.
So traditional Friday.
Traditional Friday, yeah. Sorry.
Will you have more police out on the road?
We'll have a significant amount of police on the road, yes.